If you were in Ugu village that Sunday, you would have laughed till tears came out of your eyes. Imagine this, a bride running down the dusty road in her white dress, carrying her slippers in one hand, shouting, "I'm not doing again," while her groom chased her with his cap falling off every few seconds. That was how the trouble started. My name is Teo. I was there. I saw everything with my 2 eyes. I was the one holding the wedding goat, yes, the one meant for pepper soup, when the whole drama happened. The bride's name was Amara, a beautiful and stubborn girl who believed love should make you laugh every day. The groom, Tunde, was a quiet carpenter who smiled like he was always hiding a secret. Everyone in the village used to say, those two will never last. But they also said, those two can't stay apart. You see? Love is confusing, just like a chicken that runs from the knife but still pecks at the pot. That morning, the wedding started well. Drummers were playing, people were dancing, and old Mama Ino was already sharing zobo before the pastor even arrived. But just when Tunde wanted to put the ring on Amara's finger, she suddenly shouted, "Wait. Tunde, who is Ngozi?" The whole place went silent. Even the goat I was holding stopped chewing leaves. Tunde's eyes grew wide like he saw a ghost. Then Amara threw her flower and ran out of the hall, barefooted. Everybody screamed. Some followed her, others chased after Tunde. The drummer stopped playing, and one old man said, "This marriage has become a movie." That's how it all began, a love story that made everyone in Ugu village laugh, cry, and learn something big about the heart. After Amara ran off, we all followed her to her mother's house. She locked herself inside and refused to come out. The women gathered outside, knocking and begging her. "Amara, don't spoil your big day," they said. "Every man has one mistake." But she shouted through the window, "Ngozi is not a mistake. She is a woman." The crowd gasped. One man said, "N. A woman," and another whispered, "So Tunde has 2 loves." When Tunde arrived, his face was red from running. His white shirt had turned brown with dust. He begged Amara to open the door. "Please, let me explain," he said. Amara refused. "Explain to your Ngozi," she shouted. That was when Mama Ino, the old woman who knew every gossip in Ugu, said, "I know that Ngozi. She sells beans near the river. Always smiling like she hides something sweet in her teeth." The crowd turned to her, eager for gist. "Tell us, Mama," they said. Mama Ino smiled proudly and continued, "I saw Tunde helping her repair her table last week. They were laughing like lovers. I even saw them share roasted corn." People started murmuring. Some said Tunde had cheated. Others said maybe it was a lie. I just stood there holding the wedding goat, wondering if we would still eat it. After an hour, Tunde sat on the floor and cried. Real tears. "It's not what you think," he said softly. "Ngozi is my sister. My father left her when she was small. I just found her last month." The whole place went quiet again. Then everyone shouted at once. Amara didn't believe him at first. "You're lying," she said. "If she's your sister, why didn't you tell me?" Tunde wiped his tears and said, "I wanted to surprise you after the wedding. I wanted her to meet you as my wife." The elders told Amara to calm down. Her mother held her shoulders and said, "My daughter, even palm oil looks like blood in the dark. Wait for light before you judge." Still, Amara didn't open the door. She said she needed time. Tunde left sadly, and the people carried the food home in silence. Even the drummers refused to play again that day. The next morning, news spread like Harmattan fire. Amara had traveled to her aunt's village. She said she didn't want to see Tunde again. Tunde became like a shadow of himself. He stopped going to his workshop. Every evening, he sat under the mango tree where they used to meet. Sometimes I joined him. He would sigh and say, "Teo, love is heavier than wood. You can carry planks but not heartbreak." I didn't know what to tell him. I just nodded and gave him groundnuts. 2 weeks later, something strange happened. Ngozi herself came to the village. She was tall, dark, and looked just like Tunde, same smile, same nose. When she greeted the elders, everyone began to whisper. She went straight to Amara's mother's house. I came to see Amara, she said gently. The old woman allowed her in. I followed quietly because I wanted to know how this movie would end. When Amara saw her, she stood still. Ngozi greeted her warmly and said, I'm not your rival. I'm Ton's blood sister. Please forgive him. He didn't tell you early because he wanted to surprise you both. Amara's eyes filled with tears. She looked from Ngozi's face to an old photo Ngozi showed her, a picture of a small boy and girl taken many years ago. Ton and Ngozi as children. That was when she broke down crying. I've been foolish, she said. I thought he was cheating. Ngozi hugged her, and both of them cried together. I couldn't help but smile. Even the goat that had been following me bleated like it understood the story. When Ton heard what happened, he ran faster than a thief. He rushed to Amara's house, shouting, Amara! Amara! She came out with puffy eyes and said softly, I'm sorry. He dropped to his knees, and the whole village started clapping. Even old Mama Ino wiped her eyes with her wrapper. That very day, without wasting time, the elders said, we will finish this wedding today before something else happens. So they set up chairs again, brought out the drums, and restarted the ceremony right in front of Amara's house. This time, when Ton put the ring on her finger, she smiled and said, I do. Everyone cheered, children danced, and I finally got to cook the goat. Their marriage became one of the happiest in Ugu. Amara learned to trust before judging, and Ton learned to speak before surprising. Every evening, when couples quarreled, the elders would say, remember Amara and Ton. It became a proverb in our village. Sometimes, Amara would joke, if not for that day, I wouldn't have a sister-in-law like Ngozi. And Ton would laugh and say, if not for that day, I would still be eating groundnuts under the mango tree. As for me, I still tell the story to children every evening. They always laugh when I say, even the goat was confused. But at the end, I remind them gently, love is not about how perfect two people are. It's about how many times they forgive each other before the food gets cold.